victory. Gold on my neck, Mr. T. Victory, victory. Zombie gang rapping at NYC. Victory, victory. Ice on my neck like a little weak. We run like a paraclete. It's on earth, but it's where I be. Money over on my hands down. Here lies them getting paid for. Never take a loss on my hands down. Only take a when I'm dead.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the first carry for Brian Hill. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, Hill. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On the ground, this is Hill. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there.
3/19 on it.
Here's Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Cook. And some space here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They've taken care of that early.
Throwing, Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation, because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Here we go.
Cousins. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Cook following the penalty. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Gun.
Now Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll be a loss of 1, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Let's go.
To throw is Cousins. And right with it here over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Jump out! Jump out!
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. First down. Here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Here we go, Hawk.
Cousins on 1st down. Wright's got it. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They go play action. Cousins. Complete to Wright. Touchdown, Vikings! Kendall Wright, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Over here.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Watch left. Start right there. That's fine, yeah.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Let's go.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Cousins giving this Vikings offense a bit of a spark early on in his tenure in purple as his guys have it 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Cook, and that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Cousins now from the 50. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They just do get the playoff. Now Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Hill. And some room to work. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. On 2nd down, Hill. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Hey, check 26. Over.
They stick on the ground on 1st down with Hill. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Zoom.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. As his guys are in for 6, and the Packers have cut it back within a score. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is down to 2. Here's Myers now to kick it away. fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the gun, here's Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. It makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Cousins now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Cousins now. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. They'll throw again. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, going to the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. Cousins now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Play action now. Cousins. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
A give. This is Cook. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Second down, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now Cousins. And he finds Cook. And now running right through it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Kenny Clark forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Then they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, partner, they run empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Here we go. 58. No.
They'll try to get the offense going with Hill. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
That's fine. Yeah.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Hey, check 26.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Following the penalty, it's Hill. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 10th carry for Hill. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Packers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, check 26.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, where y'all going? Zoom.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And Adams has it. Good play. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. On 1st down, Hill. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. To throw is Rodgers. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Now whistles and a timeout signaled here by the offense, and that's their first of this 2nd half. So here we go. The Packers will line up to go for 2. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. Here's Myers now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Cousins now on second down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and through by Myers. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Here's Myers now to kick it.